And it was interesting how every single morning I found these guys in the same spot. So one day I was coming back from school, and I had some chips, and Moses asked me, say, hey, man, you know, are you going to finish those chips? And I was like, no, man, here you go, take the chips. He took some of the chips, and he ate the chips, and I was like, you know, I'm not even tripping about the chips. I went home, and a few days later, I had a little money in my pocket, and because I was sick and tired of eating peanut butter and jelly and noodles and pomegranates and bananas and all that type of stuff, I said, you know what, I'm going to eat a Subway sandwich. I'm going to eat fresh today. That was what I wanted to do. I said, I'm going to go, and I'm not getting a 6-inch. I want a foot-long sandwich with everything on it. So I went to Subway. You guys like Subway? All right, I'm just checking now, okay. So I went to Subway, and I got me a foot-long sandwich, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Man, I went up to the counter, and she said, hello, welcome to Subway. And I said, hi. And she said, hi, what would you like? I said, no, she said, what kind of bread would you like? And I said, give me honey oat. And she said, honey oat, okay. She said, 6-inch or foot long? I said, give me the foot long. She said, okay. And she had this big old smile, and she was happy and everything. And so she took the bread, and she cut it, and she opened up the bread, and she said, do you want mayonnaise on it? I said, absolutely. And she put the mayonnaise down, and she said, do you want cheese? I said, you know what? I want extra cheese. And so she gave me extra cheese and all that. And then she took the sandwich. She said, do you want it toasted? I said, you know I want it toasted. She grabbed the sandwich, and she put it through the thing, and it toasted. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm happy because I'm about to eat a foot-long Subway sandwich, or I'm about to kill this Subway sandwich. The sandwich didn't know what was coming, because I feel sorry for the sandwich. That's all I got to say. I really do. The sandwich. So I'm sitting there. She said, you want lettuce? I said, yeah, give me lettuce. Give me pickles. Give me the works. Give me tomatoes and all that. And I'm happy, man. And you know when you've got something in your possession that you really like, you walk a little bit differently, right? You get kids with candy, right? It's like they take more than one step. I'm telling you, that's how I walked home. I walked home like this, like, boy, I can't wait. Oh, man, I'm going to tear this sandwich up. I was so excited. So while I'm walking towards my house, I see Moses, right? I see Moses just sitting there. And Moses is like, what's up, Jay? And I was like, what's up, Moses? Boom. You know, I went on home, and I was like, man, I sat down. Oh, boy, I sat down, I pulled up to the table there, and I was like, oh, it's about to be on in this piece. Yes, indeed. I opened up my sandwich. You know, they really wrap up the Subway sandwiches, right? You have to go through, like, a test and all that to open it and everything. And so, like, I finally got it open and took the tape off and the Ziploc. And so I'm sitting there, and here's this sandwich, and it's like, oh. And so I'm there, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm about to kill this sandwich now. And so I'm like, man, wait a minute. Right before I did anything, I said, okay, let me just calm down, let me say my grace. So I said, you know, dear Jesus, thank you for this food, nourish our bodies, bless us who have not. Everybody says that same prayer, right? Yeah. Okay. I just heard it. I'm not even going to talk about that. Okay. So I said, you know, thank you for this food, bless us who have not. Amen. Then I thought to myself, bless those who have not. Man, I know Moses is hungry. I know Moses, man, I'm pretty sure Moses didn't eat today. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I need to eat this sandwich. No, let me go help Moses out. So you know what I did? I said, you know what? Now, I ain't going to give him the whole sandwich. Forget that. You know, you ain't getting all of my sandwich now. No, I'll give you half. And so, I mean, I would have given him the whole sandwich, but. So I grabbed half. I promise I would. I grabbed half of the sandwich, and I wrapped it up, and I walked over. And now I'm not all, jumping and giddy, and it's like, man, I don't even know if he's really going to be out here anymore, because sometimes he'd be around the corner sometimes. I don't even know if I should really even go over here anymore, because I don't even know Moses, he probably did eat something today. Somebody else probably gave him some food, all this little stuff is just going through my head while I'm walking, And really, I'm just trying to convince myself that that Moses ate so I can go back home and eat my sandwich, right? And so I see Moses, and there's Moses, and he's in front of Goodwill. He's in front of the Goodwill there, right there in Riverside, in the La Sierra area, right there in front of the Goodwill. And he's sitting there, and he has this cart with that. This cart was like full of trash. I mean, there was newspapers and ripped up like blanket stuff. It wasn't even like a real blanket. It was like, I don't even really know what it was. It was trash. To me, it was trash. That's what I saw in the thing. I saw trash. But I went up to Moses and I said, "Hey, Moses." He said, "Oh, what's up, Jay? What's going on?" I said, "Hey, man, I was around at my house, and I had 2 sandwiches here. I mean, I had a foot-long sandwich, man, and I know most of the time, I see you. If I have a little something, I give it to you, whatever." I was like, "Man, listen, I don't know if you ate today, but here, you can have one of the halves of the sandwich." He's like, "Nah, man, go and eat your sandwich." I was like, "Oh, for real?" I was like, "Dude, you don't have to tell me twice, And I was like, "Nah, man." I was like, "Look, no, seriously, I want you to have it. It's my gift to you." And when you say it's my gift, and it's just kind of like, it's like, well, okay, if you insist, then, And he grabs the sandwich, and he's like, "Man." And so I'm getting ready. Now, I got my other half of the sandwich all wrapped up neatly, and I'm getting ready to walk away and leave. And I see Moses just sitting there with this look on his face, just like, "Thanks for the sandwich, but you kind of just treated me like I wasn't human." It was this weird look like, okay, you fed me, then you just walked away. Like, here's the sandwich, bye. And so I stopped and I said, "You know what?" I was like, what are you getting ready to do, Moses?" He said, "Nothing. I'm just going to sit right here and eat the sandwich." I said, "Fine, I'm going to sit here with you." So we sat right there in front of the Goodwill on the little parking bumps, and we ate our Subway sandwiches. And so when we were done, I was like, "Man, was the sandwich good?" He's like, "Man, the sandwich was good." I was like, "Yeah, it was like $6.99, And so, because, you get the combo. He didn't know I had the chips and the drink at the house. I did. I was going to, you don't show your whole hand, right? Right? Thank you. Boom, boom, right? Yeah, okay. Right. Y'all shouldn't laugh at that. I mean, come on. And so we're done eating the sandwich, and he stands up, and he's looking at me with this weird look. And he's just staring at me, and I'm like, "What, man? What's up? Like, what you looking at me like that?" He was like, "Come here, man. I want to tell you something." I was like, "All right, go ahead, talk. I'm listening, And he says, "I know you see me every day. You probably see that I stink. You probably see that, I haven't had a bath in a little while." He said, "I know you can see that my clothes aren't up to par. They're kind of ripped up and everything. And, I know you probably, just look at me and don't really think that I'm not worth a lot. Tell me something, Jay. What do you see when you look here in this basket?" I said, "You sure you want me to answer that question?" "Are you sure?" And he's like, no, tell me, man." I was like, "Man, I see a basket of trash." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I thought you would have said that." He said, "Jay," he said, "You know what?" He said, "You may not believe it or not, but I eat every single day." And I was like, "Yeah, because I feed you every time, I see you and everything. I know you eat something." He's like, nah, for real. He's like, "God takes care of me." I was like, "I feel you, man." Because I'm thinking about my pomegranates and bananas and stuff like that. And he's like, "Nah, I'm serious. God takes care of me." He says, "You know what?" He goes on, he said, you know about how I used to have a really successful club, and I used to have a whole lot of a big family and everything." And he said, "But you know what, Jay?" He said, "I know I'm almost 70." He said, I know I'm almost 70 years old now." He says, "But you know what? I'm not tripping, bro." He says,